Wednesday.
How you doing? You're listening to BBC Radio Scotland. It's mornings with Connie. I'm with you until noon today. Thank you so much to everyone who got in touch with us on the phone in this morning. We were talking about child poverty, some unbelievable contributions. Honestly, if you've not had a chance to listen to it, you didn't join us for the last hour, you can go back on BBC Sounds and have a listen. Lots of you still texting in. Andy in Edinburgh says politicians talking about child poverty, but it ain't Dickens poverty. I live in a poor area and it would help to educate people to make a pot of soup instead of paying £3 for 2 tins of sugar-laden soup. This anonymous texting says poverty in rural areas is a huge issue. Fewer shops, which are very much more expensive, little transport, if any, fewer jobs and no food bank. It all takes a change in circumstances to put you at rock bottom and really start struggling. 80295 if you want to continue that conversation. Right, coming up, Traitors fans, listen up.
I'm Harry Clark. Harry and Paul are devious.
I'm going to be finding out about life after Traitors. I can see them on my little screens right now and they're sort of putting their hands in the air, delighted to tell me. I'm excited to speak to them. So we'll speak to them shortly. And also the Court of Canon returns with another humdrum conundrum this week.
Can I ask my friend not to bring her husband on holiday?
This is a new jingle from the Chris Moyle Show.
Sitting here all alone on a throne in a palace that I happen to own. Bring me some pheasant, keep it on the bone. Fill my goblet up to the brim, sipping on mead and I spill it on my dress with the gold lace trim. Not very prim and proper, can't make me stop. I wanna go hunting any takers. I'm not fake cause I've got acres and acres, paid for with my own riches, where my hounds had released the bitches. Woof. Every day, head back for a round of croquet, cause I'm a player, and tomorrow I'll hit replay. You said that I tricked ya, cause I didn't look like my profile picture. Too bad I don't agree, so I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see. And you can't stop me, cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. Get down. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. Get down. Cause I'm the queen of the castle. When I get bored, I go to court. Put up outside in my carriage, don't got no marriage, so I have a little flirt with the footman as he takes my fur. As you were making my way to the dance floor, some boys making advance, I ignore them, cause my jam comes on the lute. Looking cute, das ist gut. All eyes on me, no criticism. I look more rad than Lutheranism. Done so hard that I'm causing a sensation. Okay, ladies, let's get in Reformation. You said that I tricked ya, cause I didn't look like my profile picture. Too bad I don't agree, so I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see. And you can't stop me, cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Cause I'm the queen of the castle. Now I ain't saying I'm a gold digger, but check my prenup and go figure. Got gold chains, symbolic of my faith to the higher power in the fast lane. My horses can trot up to 12 miles an hour. Let me explain. I'm a Wiener Schnitzel, not an English flower. No one tells me I need a rich man doing my thing in my palace in Richmond. You said that I tricked ya, cause I didn't look like my profile castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down, yeah, come on, ha. Get down. Get down with me. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. It's Anna of Cleves. I get down. Ow, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle.
I think he's at Transmit as well this weekend, so enjoy that if you're heading along. Right, it's 10 past 10 here in BBC Radio Scotland. Traitors fans, you're in for a wee treat, because the final of this year's programme did not mean the end of its most memorable contestants, Harry and Paul. Yeah, the show's most lovable liars are back together in a brand new podcast, which is fittingly all about devious deeds. Pleased to say both of them join me on the line now. Morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good, thanks. I know that the Traitors fans out there will be glued to the radio right now because they want to know how you both are. What have you both been up to? Harry, Paul, well, who I don't know. Harry, do you want to start? Hey, would you know what? He's frozen.
What does
Just
his
at
face
the-
like?
Just at that
I'm
moment.
back.
Oh, you're back. Can I tell you something? If you're going to freeze on any face, that was quite a good one to freeze on, so you were safe. There's nothing
Oh,
worse.
God.
Right, what have you been up to? What's been happening?
Oh, well, I mean, it's been absolutely mental. I always say this. Me and Paul got given a notebook and said, write down all of the dreams and hopes that you want to come from the Traitors. We wouldn't have got anywhere near close to what we've done these last couple of months. I mean, I'm on the way to Wimbledon right now, which, again, is just a dream come true. Doesn't make sense. You can't make it up. So, yeah, it's just a dream come true.
Paul?
Well, I didn't win the show, so I didn't get any tickets to Wimbledon, so that's annoyed me.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, that is annoying. No, it is amazing. Harry's right. I mean, the projects that we've done and then the secret ones that we filmed that are coming out this year and next year are just, they are literally dream come true moments. But I think for both of us, the best thing is literally what we're talking about today. The podcast that we've just brought out, it is literally a dream come true. So yeah, we love it.
I'm going to get to that in a second. Can I just say how showbiz this is, right? Because I'm watching, Harry, you being whizzed in the back of a car, you know, with the FaceTime up there. Just obviously you're being driven, just to say that and point that out. You're not driving right now on your way to Wimbledon. I mean, how much have both of your life changed from the moment you thought to yourself, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just apply for this show. Don't know how it's going to go, but I mean, it would appear just from the outside looking in for both of you that it's been a pretty big life changer, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a dream come true. No one expected it. So, like, when me and Paul were in the castle, we were there to win a bit of dosh and then just go back to normal life anyway. So imagine your life being blown up. Like, obviously now I used to be in the army. I'm not anymore. Thankfully to them, they've let me go on and really attack this career in TV and the podcast industry now, and which is amazing because I get to do things that you would never dream of. So yeah, like I said, it's a dream come true that you could never have dreamt because it's out of reach. It almost feels like.
Paul, what was it in the first place that made you think, right, I'm going to do this? This is, you know, the gift of the gab was something that both of you have been attributed to having, apparently. But you know, you must have thought, I'm going to be quite good at this.
Well, do you know what? I was on a comedy podcast called Chatterbix, and it was them fellas that had watched it before me, and they said, oh my goodness, you should go and apply for this show called The Traitors. And I'd never heard of it, and I'd never seen it. So I watched it, I'd fallen in love with it, and I was like, oh, I'll apply to make them laugh, and then, you know, we all get on with our lives. But then, you know, it snowballed into this moment that we're in now. But when I did watch it, I did think, you know, my goodness me, like I could push this a lot further than what these guys are pushing it. And I genuinely thought if there was any game show I could go and win, this is definitely it.
What was it about? I mean, because you're, I was going to say your sort of character. Were you playing a character or were you just a version of you that was just pretty good at being able to lie?
Oh my, I just think it was the most extreme version of me that you can get. I mean, you're put into a world where you're allowed to lie and manipulate and all the things you're not allowed to do in normal society, you have kind of free reign to do in the castle. So I was reading Patrick Bateman, American Psycho on the way up there, because I just genuinely thought I'm only going to be here for a few weeks or whatever. So, you know, I'm going to try and leave an impression and do the best that I can. And if you're not going to win the show, you've got to at least leave with a bang. And I think I did that.
I think you definitely did that. I think that's for sure. And I think that's something that both of you, you know, for different reasons, obviously have left your mark, and obviously why things are sort of moving forward. So talk to me then a little bit about the podcast, Harry. What was it about this in particular you thought, right, this sounds like it's up my street, I want to do this, and I want to sort of see where it goes?
Yeah, well, mainly it's big love to Paul. I get to work with Paul every week. I get to see him. When we was up there in the castle, we sort of formed this brotherhood and this bondship over hell, basically. That's why we say it was a brotherhood formed in hell instead of heaven, because we are like the devious duo. But I would say we're more mischievous than devious, because as we listen to the podcast back, we know that we would make terrible criminals, but it's just a massive laugh. So the podcast is out on all streaming platforms. We're on episode 2, which was released today. But like I said, it's half true crime. So we talk about true crimes that have gone wrong. So like the Millennium Dome heist, for example, when people try and steal diamonds, or it ranges, it goes to where someone got caught because they posted where they were hiding from the police in the Snapchat video. So there's like a massive range, but then we attack the true crime part, and then it goes into the comedy where we come up with our own ideas and our own escape plans and how we truly think we would get away with robbing diamonds, basically. And it's just a massive bundle of laughs.
Paul, what's been your favourite so far that you can tell us about, obviously?
Well, to be honest, last week's episode that came out was the pilot. So that was just me and Harry just being put inside of a studio. They turned the microphones on and said, okay, you know, let's go and give it a go. And, you know, and that got us to #1 in the comedy podcast charts on Apple.
That's amazing.
So literally every single one that follows that, like, we genuinely do believe they get better and better just because we know a little bit more what we're doing.
Well, I mean, that's always a help, isn't it?
It is always a help. So, you know, each one is so special. And I say this to everyone, it's around halfway through each episode, we kind of get the true crime bit, we get all the information out there, which is also super interesting. But as soon as I turn to Harry and say, right, that's where it went wrong for these guys, what are you going to do in that instance? And when we find out what Harry comes out with, it is literally just magic. So I'm so excited for everyone. I mean, it's amazing that we've got a podcast out there. And the most exciting bit is literally waiting to the end and hearing kind of how Harry gets away with it, because my goodness me, you have no idea where that boy's brain can go, whether it's Greek mythology, Henry VIII, and God knows what.
Do you know about them, Harry, beforehand? Like, are you given a sort of bit of a heads up, or is it all just sort of fresh, you know, improv effectively when you hear it?
So behind the scenes, obviously, a lot of research.
Oh, we're losing his line again because he's whizzing his way through London. Have we got you back? We'll try and sort Harry's line out. But yeah, Paul, you answer that.
Yeah, so basically it's massively researched, heavily researched by a production company called Stack, who are the ones that took the risk on us. So big shout out to them. So we know roughly what we're going to talk about. You know, we know that it's a Millennium Dome diamond heist, for example. But then the comedy bit, the improv bit is literally live. I mean, everything that comes out of our mouths, it's coming out of our mouths fresh for the first time. And I think that's the better way to do it, because it's so exciting and interesting. And yeah, you just have no idea the tangents that you can go off on. But then there's also like a lovely, like, sweet bit of it as well, where we're kind of just getting to know each other as well, like deeper and deeper as we go along, just by talking about these silly crimes that are happening and how we would go about fixing them. But then you start learning about each other's families and beliefs, and there's like a lovely kind of undertone of just like a like a bromance kind of blossoming in there as well. So yeah, the whole thing is lovely.
How weird is it that you developed that relationship and you got to know each other, but you got to know each other under the circumstances that obviously are about, you're out for yourself. You need to lie. There's a bit of pulling the wool over each other's eyes as well as everyone else's. So how's your relationship changed with that? And I guess building trust again?
Well, do you know what? I think from the second that we were on that train together and we sat opposite each other in literally the first, 10 minutes of filming, and I knew that there was something about this lad that we were going to get on. I think he said that I annoyed him in the first 10 minutes, so I'm glad that he changed his mind. But do you know what? We're both mates, and like the Traitors is a game, and like you kind of do go harder on the ones that are your mates. It's like when you play football against the lads, you kind of kick your mates harder than you would anyone else. So it's amazing, and we got to spend so much time together. I mean, you guys get to see an hour, but we spent all day, every day together, and we bonded so much that we got closer and closer as the Traitors went on, and then coming out of it, it's just kind of continued to grow. And now we always said to each other we wanted to put something out in the world that kind of we own, and it's our foundation, and it's our personalities, and it's not reliant on other big TV show formats. So I think with this we've achieved that. I think that's what we've done.
I really hope that, Harry, when you're recording your podcast, you're not in the back of the car on the way to Wimbledon.
I'm not. I can promise you that. It's a lot better quality. We're actually in the studio together.
Good, that's always a bonus. Right, listen, you enjoy yourself. Make sure you get some strawberries and cream, maybe a Pimm's if you're lucky.
I don't like strawberries, so it's going to be quite good. But I'm going to have to eat them. So I seem like I'm grateful because obviously I am. But yeah, I'm the fussiest eater ever.
All right.
I'm afraid of strawberries.
Hard life. Right, okay, listen, guys, good luck with the podcast. Hopefully we'll speak to you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much. Big shout out to Inverness as well. We love you. Bring us back.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they'll be delighted to have you back in any guise, whatever that looks like. Harry Clark there, who won the Traitors, of course, who's presenting the new podcast, and Paul Gorton as well, who was part of the Traitors, huge part of it, and also part of that podcast as well. The Harry and Paul are Devious. It's a new podcast released at the beginning of July, and as the guys were saying there, the second episode is going to be out next week, is it?
Today,
it's out today.
Second episode's
out today. Right, okay. Good luck with it. Speak to you soon.
Thank you so much. Speak soon. Have a nice day.
The big.
Monday to Friday, we're live across the UK. We'll play some songs and talk some talk. We've got a lot to say. We're on the air here every day. We now start at 6:30. So half an hour's extra stuff that's often rude and dirty. The Chris Moyle Show. Dirty rhymes with 30.
They were nice, weren't they? That's just such a shame. Harry obviously wanted to be part of the conversation, but he was sort of in transit somewhere else. But hopefully we got enough that we got a bit of a flavour of what the guys are up to. Right, it's Connie with you until noon today. Coming up.
Your egg or sperm donation has the power to give the gift of becoming parents to those who need help to conceive.
It's made headlines recently thanks to a Netflix documentary, The Man with 1,000 Kids, but with the Scottish Government launching its own campaign last year to encourage more donors. What is the picture for sperm donation in Scotland? We'll delve into that. And also she's up next with this week's Humdrum Conundrum.
Can I ask my friend not to bring her husband on holiday?
with BBC Radio Scotland.
You can call our free phone number on 08085 92 95 00.
You can text on 80295. Network charges apply.
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
Right, it's 10:27. She's back. Time for another humdrum conundrum with our judgmental friend of the show, Karen McKenzie. Every week we deal with one of life's minor irritations, a conundrum guaranteed to divide and even grind your gears. I think I did humdrum conundrum not bad this week.
That
you know,
was
it's
good.
not. I'm not a fan.
I know,
of it.
don't focus on it because then you'll start drum conundrum.
Sometimes I take it out and just use another word because I don't like to just trip myself up. Anyway, how are you, Karen?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I am.
You don't look like you've been up since the crack of dawn.
Thank you for your lies.
No, absolutely not at all.
Also alongside us this morning, actress and comedian Gail Telfer-Stevens. It's nice to have you actually in the studio with me.
Yeah, well, we haven't actually met face to
Oh, have
face,
you
have
not?
we?
No, I feel like we have, but we just actually haven't done
Yeah.
it sort of together before, which
That's
is really
true.
nice.
And what Karen says is absolutely true.
Oh,
You don't look as if you've been up since the
thanks,
dawn
girls.
of crack.
Yeah. You can come back. You've been busy this morning, have you not?
Yes.
What have you been doing, Gil?
Oh, I was at the gym.
Oh,
Oh, I know. Listen. How do you know that someone's been at the gym? Because they'll tell you.
Oh,
all right. I was going to
sorry,
say.
it's not. Don't mind me. I've just been at the gym. Oh, were you at the gym?
I thought you were going to say because I've not had a shower. I didn't know what you were going to say. What your answer was, so they'll tell you. That's
It's just
good
a wee
fun.
joke, I say.
Oh, honestly, I'm exactly like that. I need to tell everyone
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's been. Oh God. Oh, you sitting down? You've got a bit.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, it's my
sore.
back. I've just been at the gym.
That's
Oh, I'm unique here. I don't go to the gym.
Well, I was going to
You
say
do plenty. You ride your bike into work.
that's enough.
That's
Aye.
amazing.
Well, I only
Stay
live
off
round the
those
corner.
roads. Make sure you wear a helmet.
I do. Mum, I do.
All of the above. Right, how's new life for the baby? And are you
My wee
loving?
granddaughter Julep, she's now over 4 months old.
Can't believe she's 4
I
months.
know, she's got eyes like blinking saucers. They're amazing. She's gorgeous. So yeah, blah 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 blah. So yes, I could go on and on.
I like
Great.
that.
All
know,
good.
You know me and the babies. Right, okay, shall we get into it this week? Let's have a little listen, shall we?
Yeah.
It's 25 years. My husband and I have gone on holiday with my friend and her husband. We used to take the kids with us, but as they got older and did their own thing, we started travelling just the four of us. While it started out okay, over the last 10 years or so, my friend's husband has become more and more unbearable. He's grumpy, he talks down to my friend, and he doesn't want to join in on any of the things we do together. My husband has decided he doesn't want to go away with him again, but my friend is still really keen to holiday together. We're lifelong friends and I would love to go on holiday with her again, as her and I have always had a great time. I just can't stand the thought of being with her and her husband for that long without mine. Can I ask my friend not to bring her husband on holiday?
Dun, dun. Oh.
I love
I know
the
how it
drama.
goes.
I love the dramatic music. What that reminds me of, I don't know if you remember this in like the 90s. Was that not like an Alton Towers?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
was it?
true. That's
Why
right.
is that the first thing that comes into my head instead of the beautiful classical piece that it is? Right, okay, Karen, what say you?
Right. So I would say you can't really say to her, don't bring your husband. I mean, I think she would love to, but I think at the end of the day, you can't because... And I think the way you have to get round it is by saying, you know what, me and my husband or partner or whoever, we quite fancy going away on our own this year. So can we just give this one a miss? Like with you and your... It's funny because I don't know who their names here, but it's like you pair go away on your own and me and my husband are going to go away on our own. So I think you can't really say... Listen, can you not bring your husband because he's a pain in the butt and we'd much rather go away without you. So I think you have to just sort of kind of basically make out that you're just wanting a break. I mean, 25 years is a flaming long time to go on holiday with the same. And actually, if you've gone on holiday with somebody for that length of time, you think you'd have the relationship that you'd be able to say, oh, put your face in a different shape or stop your moaning. And if you haven't got that kind of friendship after 25 years, I'm amazed that you've actually lasted 25 years going on holiday. But at the same time, I don't think you can say, listen, don't bring him with us all.
That's what I wanted to clarify was, is it that the husband and the wife of one side will go away and just the other wife?
No, but I took it as it's like the two of them, as in the girls would go on a girls
Yeah,
trip.
that's what that.
Surely that's an easy out just to say.
Yeah,
I
that
fancy a
is
girls
like.
trip.
I think it's because it was always a family trip.
But the
when
kids are now
were
not
young.
part of it.
Yeah, but it's obviously been that since the kids have grown up and gone away, they've just continued. Probably nobody's having a good time in this holiday, and nobody's actually been able to voice their opinion, and they're all probably flaming miserable, and nobody wants to go with anybody apart from the two girls. So yeah, I think it's time to just stop the four of them going.
Break the chain,
and just. Yeah, but I don't think you can say, listen, me and my husband still want to go on holiday. We quite like you. You'd like to come. I'd like you to come, but ditch the old man.
I kind of thought that you could do a girls' holiday. That would be quite a thing. Or my other angle was that, girls' holiday, we plan for it. Two ladies arrive at the airport and then surprise, there's Billy there. He's come along. Oh, he surprised me. And they all go away on holiday and live happily ever after.
I'd be raging if I was the other one.
No, you would be.
You know what, Karen? She probably knows that our man's a pain in the butt.
I have no doubts about that at all.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's not the point, is it? I suppose.
Well, the fact that he talks down to her. Yeah, that is. But the fact that he talks down to her, and she's probably going to live her life going away on holiday with her two pals.
I think if you agree on a girly holiday, which I think is probably the way out of this one, and then just saying, so me and my husband are going to go on holiday at the time that we normally go, say it's the first week in June or July, whatever. How about you and me, like the girls, just going on holiday later on in the year? And I think that's the only way it would work. Because she obviously wants to, the woman still wants to go on holiday with her good friend. It's just that nobody wants to go on holiday with the
It's a difficult one, extremely difficult, but I don't know if it's worth having a wee word in our friend's ear and saying, Billy's a wee bit of he's a narc and, he's this and that. What do you think?
Right, therein lies the issue. And I feel as if this is the basis of every one of the conundrums that we talk about. Is honesty not just the best policy in this situation? Saying, listen, I really love you as my friend, but I'm having some issues here, and actually we've only got a couple of weeks off and I want to spend it in a way that I really want to. Will love to go with you, but I just need to be honest and tell you how I feel.
Do you know what it is? It's embarrassment. It's like everything's to do with embarrassment and fear, right? It's like when you go on a holiday with somebody else's kids, so you go away as a whole kind of troop of you, and those people's kids don't, they eat not the wrong things.
They're never going to come up to my high standards. I would be like,
but even
I wouldn't
sitting
even
at a
agree to go on
table
holiday
and
with other
different
kids.
rules for different.
Oh, but sometimes it's too far. I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that again. Don't sit at a table.
Like what? Tell me.
Oh no, I can't even go there. Just things like sitting at a table, just things that I just would never allow. Like we all eat together. The other one's away shut in the room, eating on their own, eating different things. Oh, we're making 4 meals to suit everybody. I'm like, no,
phones at the table.
Get them away, and actually we're eating what everybody's eating, okay? Because we're not specialising in anything else for anybody else. So I think it is difficult, but in that instance, I don't think I would be able to say, your kid's a pain. So
I don't think you can be honest. I don't think you can be honest with the
Not with kids.
with the friend. No, even with a friend about her husband. Because at the end of the day, it's okay for me to slag off my husband, but if anyone else does,
Karen.
although I know he is a pain in the butt,
that's true.
I don't want.
You do. You get very defensive, because you're loyal. You get.
No, I'm not loyal. I just don't want anyone pointing out the fact that I'm daft enough to still be with him.
That's a good answer. I think it's a difficult one. I think it's
you still
girls'
can't
holiday.
say anything to the woman about her leaving the husband at home and the 3 are going off on holiday.
Yeah, girls' holiday or surprise.
Right?
No.
I think a surprise is a good thing. Put it out to the listeners, see what they say.
What would happen if you were going on a girls' holiday with your friends and you turned around and your partner, your husband or whatever was at the gate waiting on you? You'd be like,
RAGING.
Yeah. Netflix's latest documentary, The Man with 1,000 Kids, has grabbed the attention, charting the true story of a man who's been able to father upwards of 500 children through sperm donation. It's an extremely complex issue and one that's faced Scotland actually in recent years, with the country facing shortages and even the Scottish Government launching a campaign last year to encourage more people to donate. But what is the picture like here? And can you do it safely whenever you're trying to find a donor? Here to chat to me more about this is Katrina Harding, a solo mum by choice, who can tell us about her own experience. Morning, Katrina.
Good morning. Hi.
Thanks so much for coming on. Also, alongside Katrina is Dr. Sarah Martins de Silva, clinical reader in reproductive medicine at the University of Dundee. Morning, Sarah.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks. It's a really important conversation. It's can be quite a divisive conversation, I should say, and it is extremely complex. Katrina, you've got more experience than most of us. Talk to us a little bit about the journey of donation for you, and I guess where it all started.
Sure, no problem. So I made the decision to try and have a baby in 2018. My age wasn't on my side. I was in my late 30s and I didn't have a partner, and I decided I had to, if I wanted to do this, do it myself. So I made an appointment with the clinic and had a consultation and decided what I was going to do, and that involved buying some sperm. And the doctor, the consultant, recommended going to the European Sperm Bank, selecting a donor based on a really detailed profile, 30 pages with medical history, personality profile, a lot of information. And you just select your donor, and then you buy your sperm. It's quite expensive, but going through the clinic, you have a lot of reassurances about the legalities, and it's regulated and screened, and a lot of good stuff if you kind of go down that route.
So whenever you're faced with this, is it like a booklet that you're sort of flicking through and saying, right, well, I like this one and with this? What was that like, and what were you looking for?
So you look online on the website, and each donor has a profile and an alias and a photo of them as a child and some really basic information, and you can kind of filter out what you're looking for. I guess I was looking for someone that looked a bit like me. I wanted a child that would fit into my family, and so I was just kind of looking for kind of the same race as myself, and that was really the only thing I was kind of keen on. And when I read into the profiles, I was kind of looking for somebody that had a really positive outlook in life. I was looking for somebody who enjoyed adventures and had a lot going on, and would be somebody I would be attracted to in real life. That's what I was looking for. And I found my donor really quickly. He was he was an academic, and he loved traveling and scuba diving and walking up mountains. And, he made it very clear in his profile that he was very aware he wasn't just making a donation and forgetting about it. He knew that this donation was going to create little people, and he really wanted to meet them one day. So, that was the selling point for me, definitely.
So how's that all gone from that point?
Oh, great. I mean, I spent 2018, at the end of 2018, I bought the donation, the sperm donation, and it got shipped to Glasgow, where GCRM is based, and that's where they keep all the donations. And over the course of the year 2019, I had 3 rounds of IUI, which weren't successful, and then I had a round of IVF, which resulted in 4 embryos, and I got them transferred, and one of them stuck, and I now have a gorgeous little boy who's nearly 4, and is the light of my life. So. Yeah, couldn't have asked for more.
Congratulations on your little boy.
Thank you.
And when you think about, Sarah, the outcome of, we're talking about a medical procedure here, but when you listen to the outcome and that line of he's the light of my life that Katrina's just mentioning, you understand why people do this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic thing that people volunteer to do.
as Katrina said, that there's often a huge amount of sort of altruism and generosity there in terms of realising the implication of what they're doing. They're creating little people, and that sort of legacy of contact later in life is possible through the law here.
What is the picture like then here in Scotland?
So I am a fertility specialist in Dundee, in the NHS clinic in Dundee, and we historically would recruit sperm donors. One sperm donor in the UK or in Scotland can father up to 10 families. So one person's donation goes a long way. And before the pandemic, we had, a sort of a steady, small supply of people that came forward to do this. And we were able to sort of relatively well meet the demand at the time. Through the pandemic, because of various issues with, obviously lockdowns and staying at home and not really being able to justify having healthy people anywhere near a hospital and so on, we weren't able to continue that process. And actually, our sperm stocks then ran out. And since then, we've never really been able to recover. The sort of supply and demand is the supply is very much outstripped by the demand. So I don't know whether we're seeing more people stepping forward who realise that this is a way of making a family and wanting to do that, but our waiting lists are extraordinarily long, and that's just heartbreaking for those people who are just sat on a virtual waiting list, waiting and waiting.
What is that then creating? Because if there's an issue with supply and demand, ultimately what then can happen is that people who are in a sort of vulnerable position when they're so desperate to get the thing that Katrina, obviously, the outcome that Katrina had, things can go sort of off grid a little bit. We're hearing anecdotally about Facebook pages and different things and other, online sites set up for people to exchange sperm ultimately. What's the danger with that, not making sure that you go through this and I guess that the proper screening etc is done?
Well, that's exactly it. As Katrina says, these are people who have a very comprehensive medical history taken. They need to be fit and well. They need to be under the age of 46 to donate sperm. So fit and well, no sort of significant diseases that run in their family. They then have sort of what we call implications counselling, where we have sort of sessions with them to sort of discuss the sort of bigger picture of what they're doing and how that might fit into their life and other people's lives at a later date. They're screened for genetics tests, and they have various infectious diseases, sexually transmitted infections testing, bank the sperm, and then later return for a repeat of all of those infectious diseases, screening hepatitis B, C, HIV, etc., to make sure that there's really minimal risk of any sort of transmission of disease, whether that's an infection or a genetic problem or any other sort of issue for the child that is then created. If you don't have the opportunity to get NHS care because you're sat on a waiting list, the two options are, one is you might go and buy the sperm. As Katrina said, it's not cheap, and then they're paying for treatment as well, and that's not accessible to everybody. So then the other option is, well, what can I do that's, as you say, off grid? What else, how else could I meet up with somebody that might be prepared to donate sperm? And that Netflix documentary that you mentioned is very uncomfortable reading, watching, because it's a combination of all of the different things that this guy was doing through various clinics and also off grid. And that the risk is that there may be some sort of issue either with disease transmission, which might affect the mum or might affect the child.
Yeah, and the potential for sort of predatory type behaviour as well, with people who
absolutely.
are, and all the implications that go with that. Just on that point of kind of what Katrina was saying there, that her donor was happy to further down the line in the future meet the child or children that they might have created. I mean, the change in the law, Sarah, that happened, which now makes it law that people have the right to find out where they came from, is that putting people off, do you think, donating?
Well, the law changed quite a long time ago. It's only kind of back in the picture, really, because the children conceived when the law changed are now at the age where they're becoming adults themselves, so they can now sort of find out what their sort of biological origins are. I think there's a recognition from people who are donor conceived and also adopted that biological connection is really important. The guy isn't going to be a legal parent. He's not going to have any sort of financial or parental responsibilities, but that connection, whether that's a long-lasting connection or just a curious thing to kind of come and meet that person, I think everybody recognises very, very important. So we're starting to see people now approaching, and it has to be the child now adult, to approach the HFEA, which is our sort of regulatory body, to sort of say, I want to know who this person is. Can I now be told their details? So we are really open with families before they start on a treatment, or couples before they start on a treatment, to sort of make sure that there's an open dialogue with children from a very young age, so that they realise what their backgrounds are, and then sort of encouraging the donors to stay in contact with clinics so that, we can put people in touch if they want to do that.
I mean, Katrina, whenever you have that option, your wee one's only 4 just now, but is that something that you think that you'll consider in the future, saying, well, actually, here's the information, if you want to go and do what you want to do with it, then you can?
Most definitely. All of the research with donor-conceived people says that they want to know as much information as they can at an earliest stage as they can. And I have found 10 donor siblings across Europe women that have used the same donor as me. One in Scotland, one in England, one in Switzerland, one in Germany, one in the Netherlands, one in Sweden, and one in Denmark. So we've got 10 donor siblings at the moment. And, all of the research says that my son is going to have this relationship from such an early age. It's just going to be normal for him. And, when we find our donor, we'll all be there, and he can, take as much time and kind of have as much contact as he wants. But, we're kind of building our family from as very early a stage as possible, because that's what donor-conceived people are telling us they want, and they wanted for their childhood. So, yeah.
Well, are you already having that thought and maybe even that conversation about what you might say to them, how you explain it?
Oh, yeah. We've discussed it. The women in my extended family, we've discussed it at length. And we will definitely find him when in 12 years, because the laws in Austria are different. In Austria, a donor-conceived child can contact their donor at age 14. So one of the children, the third oldest, she's just older than my son by about a month. She will be contacting when she's 14, so that will open the door to all of us. But with genetic testing, 23andMe, Facebook groups, that's how we all found each other. We do expect we'll probably find him before then, and throw the ball into his court and let him decide what and if the contact will be. But he just made it so clear in his profile that he was so excited for the future to get to know them, and that we feel quite confident that he'll be open to contact earlier, maybe. So, yeah, we've talked about it a lot. Of course we have.
Of course,
it's a big part of our children's lives. And because we want to be so open. We talk about it all the time because we want our kids to be so normalised that it's not even, it's just not even a big deal at all to them. So. Yeah.
It's part. Everyone has a different story. It's just part of their story.
And certainly in Edinburgh, there's a huge community of solo mums. There's about 60 of us in a big group. So, like Fergus, my son has so many donor-conceived friends. He's not the only one. So, that as well kind of normalises the situation and makes it better for him.
Katrina, thanks so much for coming on. It's just fascinating to hear your story, and it sounds like you're doing a brilliant job with Fergus. Katrina Harding there, who's a solo mum by choice, explaining her experiences of going down the donation route, and Dr. Sarah Martins de Silva, clinical reader of reproductive medicine at the University of Dundee. Sarah, thanks for coming on. Good to speak to you again.
Thank you.
Right, it is just coming up to 5 to 11. Let me know what you think about that conversation as well. 80295 is the way if you want to do that. We have got our consumer surgery coming up after 11 o'clock. It is on the way. Any questions you've got, maybe about confusion about rights or something that you've had, you want maybe clarification on insurance, or just simply want to understand where you go if you're struggling with a certain situation when it comes to buying stuff. Martin James will be here after 11 o'clock o'clock to answer all of your questions. But he's with me now, just for a little tease ahead of it. How you doing, Martin?
Hello, Connie. Lovely to speak to you again. It's been ages.
It has been a while. I've been off gallivanting, which has been nice, but it's good to be back. Right, so as I say, the full surgery is after 11 o'clock, but you... I was reading this story, and it's really interesting that you brought it up, actually, about celebrity scams, and in particular, people being preyed on with other folk posting as someone else. Kevin Costner was one who was used. Tell us more about this.
Do you know, this is such a fascinating story because I know we're all a bit worried about, artificial intelligence, and you read about deep fakes and all of these things. Now, there was a report on the BBC just recently about a woman who was tricked by fraudsters after she joined a Facebook fan group. And, we all do them. You might have joined them to try and get Taylor Swift tickets or Bruce Springsteen or something. And there are loads of these groups. The downside, though, is they're not policed really by Facebook, if at all. So there are lots of fraudsters lurking in them. And this poor lady was just basically harassed to become an official fan on the site. But in order to do so, she was told that she'd have to spend £100 on a voucher. And of course, the possibility of meeting Kevin was dangled in front of her. And, she reported the scam, which is a good thing. But the fact of the matter is, once they've got your interest, those fraudsters will then repeatedly target you. So they came back to her and promising her jobs. This is kind of variation of the LinkedIn scam where they say, you're being headhunted. So they scented blood, and that's the problem with these fraudsters. They're so insidious these days. So even if you don't hand over your details or spend the money, they will still continue to pursue you from other avenues, and we just have to be super careful online.
When you report something like this, who are you reporting it to? Because I've had a current situation where someone's pretending to be me on social media, and I've reported it because they're contacting and asking people and direct messaging people, but no one's come back. And there's that situation where you're kind of like, you're up against, I guess, questioning where you go, what do you do, and before something, someone hands over money. That's the worry, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's, you're so right on this one. Once again, this is a reminder that these ginormous social media companies, like Facebook, Instagram, all of these other ones, they really don't care that much about their customers or indeed dealing with these things. It's impossible to speak to somebody, so I'm sure you've experienced at Facebook, they just don't care. So you have to get a little bit crafty. You can report things like identity fraud to action fraud, but again, they're underfunded and exceptionally busy. But if you pop online, there are little ways that you can kind of report things where people are stealing your intellectual property, if you're a designer, or stealing you. You can actually use some of the self-regulating things as well, which is a bit of a nightmare. But with Twitter, the community notes function can actually go on there if somebody's pretending to be you and trying to trick people out of spending money. But ultimately, you simply have to message everybody that you know and tell them to be wary. I've had it happen to me as well, which is incredibly frustrating. They often mistake me for Martin Lewis, which doesn't thrill him. But I think just as a word of warning, just to everybody, if you get a message from a celebrity encouraging you to invest in cryptocurrency or a great new investment deal or everything else, it's not us. We would never encourage you to do that or to spend your money. And most of us consumer rights experts and presenters as well, we don't encourage any kind of advertising for products that are going to cost you money or are risky.
No, and Facebook say, by the way, your experience in Facebook should be safe and secure. We remove content that purposely deceives, willingly misrepresents, or otherwise defrauds or exploits people for money or property. And they say, contact them if there's anything that you're worried about. Right, okay, if it's scams, if it's something else, maybe a question that's burning, maybe if you've tried to take something back and you've not got the outcome that you desired, then Martin will be back just after 11 o'clock this morning. In about 20 minutes time, and there's still time to get your questions in. Call right now, 08085 92 95 00, or you can send a text on 80295. Any questions you've got about any consumer issues, he will be on hand. And also we'll have the verdict to this week's Humdrum Conundrum.
Can I ask my friend not to bring her husband on holiday?
Capital Radio used to be #1 in London, but they're not anymore, 'cause we are.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Now that's some of that real gangster shit. Yeah, that shit coming from an original nigga. Yeah, that nigga is from the Compton streets. Yeah, MC8's in the motherfucking house. Yeah. And right about now, High Thumps in the motherfucking house. MC8, DJ Slip. My niggas on the run. Oh shit, Lil Hawking Bird. Yeah. Put that shit down. One more nigga on the run. I just can't handle this. Born in the land of the scandalous. 13 years of age at the time. Moms ain't kicking in. I got to get mine. I loads up my strap, map out my plane. Choose my victim, then motherfucker stick 'em. One more point that got scored for the hood. Up to no damn good, understood. Snaps is getting low, so I got to get some more. Loads up the cake, break out the back door. You know the routine, so wrong fool. Here we go, same back channel. Keep your motherfucking hands up on the dash. And gives up the cash. One time is making a move on my ass. Shit, but I ain't sweating it, because ain't shit fun. Ha 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 ha. Because it's all for the money. Shit, I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. Shit. Just call me the come up kid. G, hard times kicking it in the CPT. So that means I gotta do what I gotta do. And if you ain't down with the hype, fuck you. You're coming up short when I coming up. So when I hit your corner, you're gonna be a goner. Nigga duck when my nine starts to buck. In it for the snap, so I'm crazy as fuck. I should be laying low, 'cause one times is real high. Need to make a nod, so I rush your spot. And it's like that when I got the feeling. If you don't kill, somebody else does the killing. So when you hit the end of the road, ain't no turning back. I done signed the hood, lifetime contract. Jacking and packing, 'cause ain't shit fun. Because it's all for the money. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. Uh-oh, there goes another beep on the beeper. One time sleep on the fucking night creeper. Trying to show stop on the sales. Full fake rates, but I still gets paid. Just say no, fuck the TV. Trying to push the shit because the way it's see me for the blast. 5-0 fly in fast. Mad 'cause I'm making more cash than they ask. Cash, I lay low in the cut. Label me the nigga with the fucking gangster strut. Every hoopty got gold license plates. My birds fly out throughout the fucking states. Now my other half is telling me I better quit. But I ain't doing this shit, so I guess this is it. I'll be dead before I go out like a dummy. Why is that shit? Because it's all for the money. Shit. And that's how we put it down, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, you know what I'm saying? Coming for the real confidence. MC8, DJ Slip, niggas on the run. Lil Hawking Bird. Shit. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. Yeah. Come on, nigga. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours. I got to get mine, so I'ma take yours.
Say, all rise. The court is back in session as we hear your verdict on this week's conundrum. But as ever, the final verdict lies not with us, but with you, the jury. Shall we remind everyone of the conundrum this week?
gone on holiday with my friend and her husband. We used to take the kids with us, but as they got older and did their own thing, we started travelling just the four of us. While it started out okay, over the last 10 years or so, my friend's husband has become more and more unbearable. He's grumpy, he talks down to my friend, and he doesn't want to join in on any of the things we do together. My husband has decided he doesn't want to go away with him again, but my friend is still really keen to holiday together. We're lifelong friends and I would love to go on holiday with her again, as her and I have always had a great time. I just can't stand the thought of being with her and her husband for that long without mine. Can I ask my friend not to bring her husband on holiday?
That input's just it's like an extra, isn't it?
It should. I feel as if maybe it could have gone a little bit longer at the end, but that's just me being picky. Right, so can this person decide whether or not it is right to say, actually, your husband's a bit of a pain, I'd rather not go away with him, so sort it out? I mean,
So I said you can't really say that, don't bring your husband with you. And Gail said, aye, you can say it. And then when I listened to that again, I'm thinking, that, like, you know, the friend was really keen that we still go on holiday. I don't think she wants to go on holiday with her husband either. I think it's all coming out now, actually, now that you really listen to it. Anyway,
I love how we give a little subplot here. If this is you, 80295, we want to know more. Come on.
So Anne's agreeing with me. She said, I don't think you should involve the wife. He's the problem. Confront him.
Oh, yeah, we never thought of that. If he's the kind of guy that it appears, or certainly that we're just sort of surmising that he might not be massively receptive to that, I don't know.
Yeah, he's always saying I'm passive aggressive. I think in this occasion I would just, I'd not want to confront either of them. I'd just rather slope away and say, no, we're doing our own thing this year. However, I'll go on holiday with you at the end of the year. This is to the girl, if she fancies still going. So Kath and Mullinson is saying, yes, you can say it to her friend, but only if your husband doesn't go on holiday either. Well, that I would say is the same thing. You either embrace the full family, warts and all, or you go on a girls' holiday, in which case no partners allowed.
Here's the thing, right? I mean, how much time are you spending on holiday, like, with that particular person? You could go off and do your own thing, or, maybe, I don't know, are we talking about a villa here? Are we talking about, an apartment where you're sort of in each other's pockets?
Aye.
Or is it separate rooms and you can kind of avoid
Or is
that
it separate
person?
rooms? Oh, you think might be all the one room?
No, but they might be in an apartment or something like that.
Sorry.
Or a big villa, and then it's like you coming down for your breakfast.
Or a dorm.
You're a bit of or a dorm, a different type of holiday. But do you know what I mean? Like, could you just avoid this person?
I don't think you can, because whatever you choose to do through the day, you're probably always going to eat at night together. Do you think?
Probably.
Aye. Anyway, John and Ellen saying, in my view, to keep the friendship going, time for a change, time for a girly break. Or be sneaky, find out when they cannot go on holiday and book for then. Right, now it's you that's been passive-aggressive, John, I think. Friends and shared holidays for 25 years. No mention of how close or often they see each other at home. I know, I wonder if this just started off because they both had children at the same time. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, the kids got on well, let's just all go on holiday. And then
25 years later, before you know it, you're
probably
married to each other's holiday plans.
I know. How often do they see each other at home? If lots, perhaps friendship's getting stale, or the husband is getting set in his ways. It sounds like it. From experience, women tend to interact better together than guys. John, you are absolutely right. Not that I'm generalising.
No, not that there's a big, huge, massive brushstroke. We're just brushing all over the place here. But I kind of get the feeling that the girls' holidays probably the way forward.
Fun. It definitely is. It definitely is.
That's kind of what we're hearing.
Yeah, they're not going to go on holiday again. The four of them.
What do you make of, like, friends' holidays? Have you done many of them? Is that something that you tend to do?
No, we've done a few family holidays where the four girls and the partners all go along, but that's kind of maybe every sort of 3 years or that, just to sort of, because one's in New Zealand, one's in America, one's in London. It's the kind of only time that you kind of get together. Friends holidays, no, I go on holidays with girls. Like, so it's just me and another friend, different friends. So, and that's nice. But no, I have to say I've not been on couples
It's getting organised. Honestly, getting a bit of time where everyone's diary's free,
Aye, that's
even for
true.
a coffee, never mind a holiday.
Yeah, yeah.